Welcome to the MS-Perspektive podcast, Perspective with a K as I'm German. I'm Nele von Horsten, MS patient, patient advocate and author. I'm bringing you interviews, inspiration and information about living with multiple sclerosis and show you ways how you can positively influence the disease and make the best out of your diagnosis. On ms-perspektive.com you will find the show notes, 11 free tips as a PDF and lots of other information. And now the show begins.
Thanks for tuning in again and welcome to episode number 109, Understanding Cognitive Reserve and its role in multiple sclerosis. I often talk about the cognitive reserve in my podcast and blog posts. When it is used up, the brain can no longer compensate for any damage that occurs. However, it is more of a concept and not that easy to grasp, this cognitive reserve. And of course, it can also be used up in other ways. So it's time to take a closer look at it. How can you measure it? And what do you do with the results? Fortunately, there are a number of training options to counteract the invisible challenges, such as memory lapses, concentration difficulties, or slowed thinking. To ensure that cognitive changes do not have a significant impact, it is crucial that our brain has the ability to adapt, remain flexible, and continue to function even in the event of damage or disease. The good news? Cognitive reserve is not set at birth. You can actively build and strengthen it over time, even into old age. Find out what the concept of cognitive reserve really means, how it is measured using the Cognitive Reserve Index questionnaire, the CRIQ, and most importantly, what you can do to protect and boost your brain power, even if you are struggling with MS-related fatigue or limited time. Whether you are just starting to explore the topic or are looking for new strategies, this guide is designed to help you take a confident step towards mental resilience. Okay, so get into the details. What is cognitive reserve and why is it important in MS? Cognitive reserve refers to the brain's ability to adapt and maintain function despite damage or disease. In the context of multiple sclerosis, this reserve can help compensate for neurological damage caused by the disease, potentially delaying or minimizing cognitive symptoms such as memory problems, attention difficulties, or slowed thinking. In essence, a higher cognitive reserve can act as a buffer against the effects of MS on brain function. What is a CRIQ and how does it measure cognitive reserve? The Cognitive Reserve Index questionnaire, CRIQ, is a standardized tool used to estimate a person's cognitive reserve. It is relatively straightforward and non-invasive, typically taking 10 to 20 minutes to complete. The CRIQ assesses three main domains. Number 1, education, number of years of formal schooling, and any additional training or certifications. Example: a person with 12 years of school and a vocational certification might score higher in this domain. Number 2, working activity, complexity and duration of a person's professional life. Example: someone who worked 30 years as an engineer would score higher than someone with a short or low complexity work history. Number 3, leisure time, engagement in cognitively stimulating activities during free time. Example: reading books, playing musical instruments, or participating in group hobbies all contribute positively. Each domain is scored, and a composite index is calculated to reflect overall cognitive reserve. Example results: high versus low cognitive reserve, so you get at least a bit of an idea. A high cognitive reserve is someone with a university degree, a mentally demanding job, and hobbies like reading, traveling and playing chess might receive a high CRI score, e.g. 125 or plus points, suggesting strong mental resilience. A low cognitive reserve. A person with minimal education, few work years in low-demand roles, and little engagement in mental hobbies might score lower, e.g. below 90 points, indicating greater vulnerability to cognitive decline. You can also complete the CRIQ conveniently online through the official platform. I will put the link into the show notes, but just to read it once out, www.cognitivereserveindex, all in one word, .org/choice.php. This allows you to choose between a long or short version, both designed for easy self-assessment. I've done it myself and provided my anonymous information to the University of Padua, Italy, who made this test and offers it to everybody. It is quite basic, but gives you an idea where you stand. And by the way, I did both versions, the long and the short, and I was in the middle class, but towards the higher end. So what can you do if your cognitive reserve is low? If your results suggest a lower cognitive reserve, don't worry. This is not a fixed state. You can actively work to build it up. Learn new skills like languages, crafts, or instruments. Engage in mentally challenging tasks like puzzles or strategy games. Increase social interactions. Or pursue lifelong learning like online courses or workshops, or maybe study multiple sclerosis management like I did. I'm just doing it. Not done with the master thesis yet. Or the EUPATI, the European Patient Expert Program, which, by the way, can be done by everybody worldwide. So in the cohort 8 where I'm in, we have people from all over the world, from Australia, from North America. I'm not sure about South America, but for sure from Asia. So that's something you can do and engage in your community, the MS community. Okay, coming back to our topic. Why aren't these tests commonly used in MS care? Despite their usefulness, CRIQ assessments are not routine in MS care due to time constraints, lack of awareness, or limited clinical resources. However, you can complete the questionnaire yourself to gain insights into your mental resilience. How reliable is a self-test and what are its limitations? Self-testing can give a general idea, but it lacks clinical accuracy and may be biased by self-perception or incomplete information. It should be seen as a starting point rather than a diagnostic tool. And for example, when I was doing the testing, I was not totally sure for some points how to fill it in. So maybe I did it wrong, maybe to the better, maybe to the worst for myself, I don't know. But I guess if you would do it in a well-established setting with somebody asking you and you can do re-questions, then of course it would be more accurate. But anyhow, it helps. Why is it always worthwhile to train cognitive reserve? Cognitive reserve protects brain function over time, helping manage not just MS-related changes, but also age-related cognitive decline. Training it improves mental agility, coping capacity, and overall quality of life. How can you train cognitive reserve effectively? Mix cognitive, social, and physical activities. Stay curious and keep learning. Balance mentally stimulating habits with rest and wellness practices. And by the way, if you want to have an example of how this interaction can help, you should maybe listen to episode number 49, the CogX Study Insights for Progressive MS on Cognitive Rehabilitation with Professor Anthony Feinstein. He was talking about that study, which was in a way not successful, but it was successful to find out that no matter what you do, if you stimulate persons who are in progressive state of MS, it always helps and it always improves, no matter if you do physical training or if you do social interaction or if you do dedicated cognitive tasks. It's always good to train the brain, no matter in which way you do it. Okay, let's come back. Here are different examples to suit various lifestyles. Number 1, the social butterfly was, by the way, a name a former colleague of mine was giving to me when I was living in Chicago. Join a local club or community group, volunteer, or start a regular meetup with friends for board games or discussions. Number 2, the lifelong learner, something I prefer myself as well. Take online courses, attend local lectures, or dive into documentaries and books on topics that fascinate you. I myself read the National Geographic since 2004 each month. Even so, I have a staple of them here, so I have to read a bit faster. Anyhow, number 3, the creative explorer. Try painting, photography, creative writing, or learning a musical instrument. Creative expression is powerful cognitive training. So painting and photography right now is very low with me, but at least, creative writing is not so good, but I still want to write my 100 books, so 93 are still missing. That is something I at least did for many years and want to do again. Number 4, the home-based thinker. If going out is difficult, you can still build cognitive reserve by journaling, listening to educational podcasts, playing logic games on a tablet, or watching thought-provoking films or talks. And by the way, I know a very good podcast you can listen to. No, sorry. But if you listen to my podcast, you get a lot of different people to hear and a lot of different topics, all related to multiple sclerosis. So I think that's something which can help you in two ways at least. And number 5, the calm strategist. Practice mindfulness or meditation, explore brain training apps, or follow structured home programs that combine relaxation with cognitive tasks. And I was doing again today Neuronation. I don't know if it's existing in the English-speaking countries. It's a brain training game in German language. I use it in German language. And it's very great because it trains always depending on your level. And if you go up over time, then it becomes more difficult. And if you go down by, a relapse or because you did not train for a longer time, then the level goes down. So it always is suitable for you and your situation right now. Okay. Do I need to train all areas? No. Choose activities that you enjoy and are curious about. If one area doesn't appeal to you, like academic learning, focus on others like creative hobbies or volunteering. Flexibility is key. And maybe over time you want to go into the other areas, and that would be even greater. But hey, train what makes fun to you. Why you shouldn't be disheartened by a low starting score. A low cognitive reserve score is not a judgment, it's a baseline. It simply highlights where you can begin strengthening your mental resilience. Progress is possible at any age or stage of MS. How to start small, especially with fatigue or limited time. Set tiny goals, read 1 page, do 1 puzzle. Have a 5-minute chat. Or maybe start listening to my podcast just in small episodes, like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then move on the next day. Choose enjoyable, low-pressure activities. Incorporate brain-friendly habits into daily routines, e.g. listen to podcasts while resting. Celebrate consistency over intensity. So that is the concept of don't break the change. Do every day something small, and then maybe over time you increase it. But if not, you do every and each day something small for your brain, for yourself, and that is great, and you should be proud of yourself. In summary, understanding and improving your cognitive reserve can be empowering, especially when living with MS. It's not about perfection, but about giving your brain the best support possible for the road ahead. And if you want more information about the cognitive reserve, you might want to start with the Wikipedia article, which offers further resources as always. I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new and maybe get inspired to train your brain now regularly. That would be great. I would really love that. And please remember, stay as positive and active as possible. And it would be lovely if you could rate my podcast wherever you are listening to it, or recommend it to somebody else who might be interested in the topics discussed here. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening today. I hope you found it helpful. You may also be interested in the previously published episodes and posts, which you can find at ms-perspektive.com/podcast. Perspective with a K. You can also get a free PDF with 11 tips for your positive impact on MS at ms-perspektive.com/newsletter. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach me at nele@ms-perspektive.com or on social media. See you next time.